You know what is not good eating? Well, actually, I shouldn't say it's not good eating. I don't like lobster because of one time we all ate lobster together,
Oh, I'm like,
and then either got the flu or food poisoning, and then we all got sick, and I threw it up, and now ever since then I associate lobster with that throw up. Do you ever do that where like you throw something up and it's dead to you?
You haven't had lobster since?
No.
No way.
No, I won't eat it again. Yeah.
Wow. That's crazy.
I go on a cruise and ask for the chicken tenders now.
Oh,
yeah.
no.
I would. I'll say it.
That was 8 years ago?
I don't care.
Someone that doesn't know how to prepare lobster, too.
Well, I don't know that.
Who knows what's in those chicken tenders?
Not throw up though.
Pink goo.
Yeah, the pink goo. I like the chicken nuggets better when they were made out of liquid.
Yep.
Back when those were the good old days.
Good old days. It's BK ones.
But anyhow, I'm gonna play this video for you guys. I think Maddie has already seen it, but this is a little thing that I saw, and it reminded me of the fact that when we were in Massachusetts, and lobster was like the big thing. So listen, watch this, and it'll be on the screen for the viewers.
You order lobster, you get lobster, right? Not always. At this restaurant called Get Hooked outside Tampa, the lobster in their lobster roll also came back as whiting.
Yes, people, I did not purposely rip the public off like
the owner says he makes his lobster rolls with a frozen mixture called Lobster Sensations that he buys from an outside vendor. It has lobster, but it's also filled with other cheaper fish like whiting and pollock. We tried out lobster dishes of every conceivable kind at 28 restaurants around the country. It may shock you to learn that in 35% of our samples, instead of lobster, we found cheap fish substitutes. At Red Lobster, the largest seafood chain in America, we tested the lobster bisque from 3 locations and scooped out the meat. Then we sent it off to a lab.
We do look at it carefully, but then the final answer is done by DNA analysis.
According to the lab, the lobster in one sample was actually langostino. 2 others had a combination of langostino and lobster.
So
We're being cheated.
Yeah, I know. So you're like going to restaurants and ordering lobster, and you're not even getting lobster. And that's just another reason to hate it. And my question is, if it's Red Lobster doing it, then are you getting lobster anywhere? And do you even really know if you like lobster? Maybe you just like whiting.
Why did they do the bisque, though, as the test subject? Because that seems more likely to add
other things.
Yeah. Like, why not why not get the lobster tail?
Well, how could you fake a lobster tail, though?
True. I want to know what the difference is between lobster and langostino. Are we talking about like
what is langostino? I heard that.
I don't know.
It's like related to lobster. It's like a similar,
like a prawn kind of thing, or
kind of. It'd be the equivalent of getting shrimp and getting prawn instead. Like, would you know the difference?
I'll take prawn.
That's just a jumbo shrimp. You know, I don't know.
Yeah,
I get it. Yeah, I just think it's weird that you don't know what you're actually getting.
Yeah,
35% of the time, and the markup is there.
I don't know if they're actually lying. Come to think of it.
What do you mean?
There's no fine print on it.
Well, they're saying crab cakes, but if there is 10% of crab in it, then they're not lying. You know?
Oh, like they're just careful with their wording?
Correct, yeah.
It's like when you get a
I don't
chocolate
like that,
bar
AJ.
from the grocery store, you get a chocolate bar, and it's like a chocolatey bar or a chocolate
product.
Product,
Yeah.
That's not chocolate. That's 10% chocolate and crap.
Exactly, yeah.
I eat a lot of cheese products, like cheese-like products, or dairy
substitute,
dairy dessert.
Cheese,
that isn't really
cheese
ice cream.
product is straight Lunchables.
Yeah. What do you think, Maddie?
I feel like it's frustrating as a consumer that we have to be so careful about doing our own research on food and what we consume. It's just, there's no transparency
right
most of the time.
Till RFK gets in.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it turns that place upside down.
I mean, he's already starting to do some good. I saw that red dye is going to get axed, which
I'm surprised it didn't years ago. Yeah.
No more Asperger's.
Is that what they're saying causes it?
Yeah, I thought that was like a thing. Like red dye, like makes the Asperger's flame up or something.
There's probably a direct funnel to where it was like, let's start putting it into foods, and then who got paid.
And and then Asperger's eventually turned into your kid just isn't well behaved.
Is that what it is now?
Who knows? I don't know. I heard that theory.
So there's another video that I found and Ryan didn't. That is about Ryan found this video, and this is to go off of the conversation that we had last week, Jeff, about coyote hunting.
Mm-hmm.
And you had kind of mentioned that coyote hunting, it just isn't like we didn't see as many coyotes this year.
Mm-hmm.
But I got to thinking about it, and I think you're wrong because turkey hunting, I saw them 5 out of 6 sits, and this video shows things are really getting out of hand.
Really getting out.
Got some
Like the way he's going about it leads. I was thinking rat.
I thought rat for
I
sure.
thought rat for sure.
bad cottage cheese.
Yeah. Like a spoiled
I thought
Lunchable.
raccoon or something.
Raccoon I could see. Right here I was thinking raccoon because that's a big old leg or a tail. And then, oh my God. Now what? Now what?
That's an Aldi.
He was hot.
in Chicago.
An Aldi in Chicago.
Really?
There was a coyote got in and he was up underneath there. I've never worked. Has anyone here worked at a grocery store?
No.
No.
I have not. Maddie, have you? No. I'm wondering, like, what the...
Is there a hidden
How the
wall?
hell did he get back there? Like, where did he come in, and then where did he get underneath there? He's in the meat section just going to town on some drumsticks. Like, but my point was of this is, so, Maddie, last week we had talked about coyote populations, and there's an argument to be made that people talk about, and they say it's science. And it's, but I don't know, right? I don't know the actual answer. But they say if you kill coyotes and hunt them, as I know you do, and we'll get into that, then you can actually, by shooting some, inspire them to reproduce more frequently. So by killing some, you actually get more. And it's like there's a lot of people that have come out and said that that's the case. And then when they do their howling at night, it's like a roll call. And if the breeding pairs that are there aren't responsive, then more will reproduce to try and take that spot. And there's like all this different things to it. And I just wondered what your thoughts were on that because you're such an avid. I mean, you kill more coyotes than anyone I know.
Yeah, I kill a lot of coyotes, but I've never thought about that. I've actually never heard that. But thinking about it, I think it might be true. Because,
Really?
I mean, between my husband and I, we kill a lot of coyotes, especially during the summer months. And that's like not even seeking them out. That's like just carrying a gun when we're checking cows or fixing fence, and you could shoot several a day. But we're on the same piece of property, and we'll kill a coyote one day, and there'll be one that replaces it the next week. Like they just keep moving in. So
that could be a territorial thing too. Like they say, like I won't go through the whole story, but they say with lions, they're pride animals or pack animals, like the coyotes are, and basically if you kill enough of a pride and they quit roaring and they quit marking their territory and stuff like that, the other ones will move in, especially if there's a food source like a bunch of cattle or whatever else. Are they ever killing the cattle? Are they eating the poop? Like what are they out there doing?
I don't know that they're really killing the cattle. We do have a death loss percentage written into our contracts with our grazers where like X amount of calves or cattle can die. It's like a very small percentage, but can die without us being liable, like just because things happen out there. And now we do have wolves. I don't think the coyotes are affecting the cattle too much unless we get really young calves in the spring or we have late calvers that come in and they're actually calving on the prairie. But they definitely hang out with the cattle. Like a lot of times we're shooting coyotes out of the cows. And if one is sick or it's already injured, then the coyotes, I think, definitely affect them. But the coyotes aren't outright killing the cattle. Really what they're affecting is the antelope babies and deer and elk calves.
Okay. So that's the main reason why you're hunting them.
Yeah. There's not a ton of deer. So the ranch that we manage, it's my husband's family's ranch, but there's not a ton of deer out there because it's open prairie. There's like some patches of timber around the outside edge of it, but not a lot of deer like to be in the open prairie. There's a ton of ditches and sagebrush, so there is some cover, but really it's elk and antelope, and the antelope babies get hit bad by coyotes.
Yeah. How is the antelope hunting? Like, do you guys have a good season, or like, do you have to get a tag? Is it tough?
Yeah, there is some good antelope hunting out there. I get an LOP doe tag every year, and it's about the highlight of my year. I have shot 2 does out there, and I just really enjoy it. It's really low pressure, and it's just kind of a fun hunt. But
Yeah.
there's good population, lots of does, and some really good bucks out there.
What is the gun that you carry with you, caliber, type, scope, and everything like that when you've got one around with you on the ranch for coyotes?
I take a 6 Creedmoor. It's loaded with 95 grain nozzler ballistic tips, and it has, what are the other things?
I know.
I'm shooting suppressed.
Yeah.
I always shoot suppressed. And
Do you have a? I
has
think it's
a-
a 10-mile scope you have.
yes.
Yeah. Sorry, not that I'm stalking. It's just I see she posted a gun. It was cool. I thought I was giving her a chance. Talk about it.
Yeah, that's my favorite gun.
Yeah, she has a Trijicon 10-mile scope, which I know is that's not an inexpensive scope. That's a good one.
It's a good one.
Yeah. So the 6 millimeter, it's 95 grain. What is the speed on those?
I'm shooting about 3,200 feet per second.
Okay. And you're using the 95 grain Nosler ballistic tips. So are you loading them yourself?
It depends. I've loaded some myself, or my husband's loaded them for me. And then I think right now, the last time I shot it, I had it dialed with just the factory round. The factory shoots really good out of that gun.
Okay. Are you loading them at work or home?
At home.
Yeah, that's ready. So you just take you take your work home with you for that.
It seems like,
Conveniently.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to say I take a lot of work home, but my lifestyle is just, I really love what I do, and it's like my passion outside of work. So it seems kind of like, it doesn't seem like I'm always working, but it seems like I'm always doing something that relates to
Yeah,
work.
something that has to do with it. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Well, you picked the right company to work for.